Beloved children of the eternal light, I am Gabriel, the messenger whose task is to help you hear the song of the divine more clearly. I speak to you now because the earth is entering a season when streams of luminous information, what many of you call codes of light, are flowing into your world more abundantly than ever before. These codes are not words carved on stone or symbols written in books. They are living vibrations of wisdom, patterns of harmony that wish to awaken in your hearts and minds. To receive them, you must first learn to clear the channels within yourselves, for a vessel that is clouded cannot hold the clarity of a shining stream. The channels I speak of are not merely the physical senses, though they can be refined. They are the subtle pathways of perception and awareness that connect your inner consciousness to the larger field of life. Every person has these channels, for you are all beings of both matter and spirit. Some experience them as intuition, others as an inner knowing, a creative spark, a sudden sense of peace or guidance. These channels are always present, but they can become dulled by noise, not only the noise of the outer world, but also the noise of unexamined thoughts, of unresolved emotions, of habitual distractions that scatter your attention. To clear the channels is not a task of a single day, it is an ongoing practice. Begin with the recognition that you are already surrounded by a living presence of intelligence. The same intelligence that orchestrates the flight of birds, the opening of flowers, the movement of the stars, is available to guide you. When you approach life with this remembrance, you open yourself to communion rather than separation. Then you may begin the work of quieting the inner storms that distort your ability to hear. A simple and powerful step is to cultivate stillness. In stillness you do not have to suppress your thoughts or fight your feelings, rather, you allow them to pass like clouds across a vast sky. Sit each day in a place where you can be undisturbed for a while. Close your eyes if that is comfortable, breathe gently, and imagine that with every breath a soft, radiant light is washing through you, clearing away the dust of restlessness. Let your mind become like a calm lake in the early morning. In that calmness, subtle impressions can appear, sometimes as images, sometimes as words, sometimes as feelings of quiet certainty. Do not rush to interpret them. Simply allow them to be. Clearing the channels also means tending to the way you use your attention in daily life. Many of you have become accustomed to scattering your attention across many demands and entertainments, rarely dwelling long in the present moment. Attention is the bridge between your inner awareness and the greater field of guidance. When it is divided or distracted, the bridge becomes unstable. Practice giving your full attention to simple acts, to listening when someone speaks, to savoring a meal, to watching the play of light and shadow on a wall. Such practices strengthen the steadiness of attention so that when higher impulses come, you are able to notice and receive them. Your emotions, too, are channels of perception. They can either clarify or distort the signals of guidance. When emotions such as anger, fear, or resentment are unacknowledged and unhealed, they act like sediment in a stream, clouding the water. This does not mean that you must never feel these emotions, they are part of being human. But they must be felt honestly and then allowed to move through you without clinging. One way to do this is to sit with your feeling as you would with a child who is upset, present, patient, without judgment until the feeling reveals its need and softens. As emotions settle, the deeper currents of guidance can flow more freely. Another aspect of clearing the channels is purifying your speech. Words are not merely sounds, they carry energy. When your speech is filled with complaint, harsh judgment, or careless exaggeration, the inner channels grow coarse and less sensitive. Practice speaking truthfully, gently, and with intention. You will find that as your words become more aligned with integrity, your ability to hear the quiet instructions of the higher realms is sharpened. Many people ask how they can know whether an impression comes from a higher source or merely from their own habitual thinking. A simple test is to observe the quality of the message. True guidance carries a feeling of quiet assurance, even when it challenges you to grow. It does not flatter your ego or urge you to dominate others. It often comes with a sense of expanded perspective, of connection to something larger than your immediate desires. If an impulse feels urgent in a way that stirs fear or pride, pause and examine it carefully before acting. Guidance that flows from the greater field of love and wisdom will never coerce or belittle, it will invite and uplift. You are now living in a time when new code streams of luminous patterns are entering your world. These codes are not imposed from outside but awaken what already exists in the deeper layers of your being. They bring forth forgotten capacities, compassion that is both tender and strong, creativity that serves the common good, insight that perceives unity beneath apparent difference. They arrive not as a single event but as waves of inspiration, insight, and intuitive knowing that can guide communities as well as individuals. The more clearly your channels are open, the more you can receive these codes and express them in practical ways. Receiving the new codes is not a matter of passive waiting. It is an active participation in the unfolding of life. Imagine a musician tuning their instrument before a concert. The music is already written in the score, but unless the instrument is tuned, the beauty of the music cannot be fully expressed. In the same way, as you clear your channels, you tune your whole being, body, mind, and spirit to resonate with the higher harmonies that are seeking to manifest through you. When you are attuned, guidance often comes in the midst of ordinary activity, a sudden idea while you are walking, a dream that stays with you upon waking, a sense of what needs to be said in a difficult conversation. Communities, too, can learn to receive guidance together. When people gather in sincerity, set aside their personal agendas, and invite the presence of the greater wisdom, something remarkable happens. The group as a whole can sense a direction that transcends individual opinions. This is one of the ways the new codes will shape the emerging era, not as commands delivered by distant authorities but as insights that arise from the shared field of attuned hearts and minds. Some of you may worry that you are not spiritual enough or gifted enough to receive these codes. Such worries are themselves part of the noise to be cleared. The stream of guidance flows for all. The only requirement is a willingness to listen and to act in harmony with what you receive. You do not have to be perfect, you only have to be sincere. Each step you take in clearing your channels, each choice to pause, to breathe, to listen inwardly strengthens your capacity to participate. Let me speak, too, of trust. Trust is the open door through which the new codes can enter. When you doubt every impression, you close the door. When you trust blindly without discernment, you open the door to confusion. True trust is balanced by discernment. It is the quiet confidence that life itself is benevolent and that you have the capacity to recognize what aligns with that benevolence. Cultivate trust by remembering moments when you followed a quiet inner prompting and it led to a good outcome, even in small matters. Let those memories anchor your confidence. As you open to the new codes, you may notice changes in your perception. Colors may seem more vivid, patterns in nature more meaningful, synchronicities more frequent. These are signs that your inner senses are awakening. Welcome them without clinging to them. The purpose of these experiences is not to entertain but to orient you more deeply to the living presence of the divine in all things. Clearing the channels also prepares you to serve others. The wisdom that flows through you is not meant for you alone. It seeks expression in acts of kindness, in creativity that uplifts, in solutions to shared challenges, in words that heal division. As you learn to receive the new codes, you become a conduit through which higher patterns of harmony can enter the collective field. This service need not be dramatic or public. It may be as simple as the way you listen to a friend, the fairness with which you conduct your work, the patience you show in tense moments. Such acts weave the luminous codes into the fabric of daily life. Beloved ones, I remind you that the clearing of channels is not about rejecting the world but about engaging it with greater clarity. You are not here to escape the human experience but to illuminate it from within. The codes of light come not to draw you away from the earth but to help you perceive the sacred dimension of your earthly journey. Every ordinary moment, every shared meal, every challenge at work, every gesture of care can become a vessel for these codes when you meet it with an open, attuned heart. In times of confusion, return to simplicity. Breathe. Place your hand over your heart and remember that within you there is a point of pure awareness, untouched by the noise of passing events. Rest there for a moment. From that stillness, ask for the next step to be shown, not the whole path, just the next step. Guidance often comes one step at a time, for that is enough to keep you moving in alignment with the greater pattern. I bless you with the gentle clarity of dawn light. May you become transparent to the guidance that seeks to move through you. May your channels be clear, your hearts receptive, your minds steady, and your actions aligned with the higher harmonies. The codes of the new era are not far away, they are streaming into the present moment, waiting to be recognized and lived. Stand ready, beloved ones. Trust that you are capable of receiving what is needed. Nurture stillness, honor your emotions, speak with integrity, listen deeply. As you do so, you will discover that the guidance you once sought in distant places is already present within and around you, waiting only for your attentive welcome. This is my message for you, given in love and in service to the awakening of the earth. I, Gabriel, am ever near to those who call for clarity. I hold before you the lamp that lights the path through confusion into understanding. May you walk that path with confidence, and may the codes you receive bring renewal not only to your own life but to the shared life of all.